Hey everybody, it's Paul with CDA Software. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's video. This video right here is going to be video number 5. And what this video is going to help your technicians understand is what does a tech do when they scan a carrier tracking number from FedEx or UPS or any of the others and there is no match. We're going to show you how that's dealt with. And then also what we're going to show you is what do you do when your technician does a local pickup or delivery of a part where again there is no carrier, there is no parts receiving, and what that would be an example of your tech goes to Marcone, purchases a part, does an install, or your technician goes to Home Depot, purchases some parts, and installs them on the claim, or they need to be used for said claim. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how those scenarios work. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty, so here we are. We're going to go ahead, go to parts, and we're going to say receive parts. Now again, in this scenario, we're going to scan a carrier tracking number, which happens to be UPS, and let's see what happens. And there it is. And notice it did not come up with the parts that are associated with that tracking number. So now what it's telling us to do is it's basically saying, hey, there was no match found for this carrier tracking number. Again, if it did, it would have had a list of parts that came up next, just in the previous videos that we've made for you guys. So now let's go ahead and do what it says. It says, hey, take a picture of the packing slip. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then if you remember in the previous videos, we mentioned that it's extremely important that each company train their technician on how to find the PO number for invoice packing slips that you guys typically order from. In this case, we're just going to say there was no PO provided. And then we're going to add the part. And now notice what it says, right back to where we started before. It says go ahead and scan a QR label. So there's our QR label, and now once again it's going to say, hey, take a picture of the part with the label. So let's go ahead and do that. And so there it is. We went ahead, we filled in all the pertinent information just like we were instructed to, and now we're going to click finish, and when we do that, all that information will be sent to the front office. And there you go. We can see that everything's been taken care of, and we go ahead and click finish. And we're right back to where we started from. Alrighty, so here we are again. We are going to go ahead and explain now what you do if your technicians have what is called a local pickup or a local delivery, and or if your technicians go to Home Depot or go somewhere else other than they did not get a carrier tracking, but they want to receive a part in from somewhere else. So in this video example, we're now going to show you where a technician goes to Marcone and will receive the part in. So let's go ahead and see what that process looks like. So all we're going to do is we're going to click right up here. We're going to go to parts. We're all familiar with this area, so we're going to say, hey, I want to receive a part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause here for a moment. So normally you would scan carrier tracking, and either the carrier tracking would be found or it would not be found. But in this case, we know that we have no carrier tracking. So what I'm going to do for our video purposes only, I'm going to click in here and I'm going to say NA. Now for our demo, we're going to say, hey, the SOP for the Acme company is that they always say NA whenever the technician does a local pickup, gets a local delivery, or they go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or a plumbing company or electronics company, where we always know that will be a case where they have no carrier tracking. So they'll either say NA, they'll say none, or you'll come up with some standard language that every one of your techs will always use, so that when it gets to the front office, everybody knows what that means. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say there is no carrier. I'm going to say NA for our demo / Acme company, and I'm just going to click next. And now here we are. We're right back to the same process where it says, hey, give me a picture of the packing slip from Marcone for our demo. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, we're going to say, does it have a PO? It may or may not. Again, you need to teach your team how to recognize POs. In our case, it has no PO, or perhaps you gave your tech a PO to use. Again, these will become SOPs that will be unique for each company. We're going to go ahead and say no PO. And we're going to say add the part. And again, we're going to say scan the QR label. We're all familiar with this. And once again, it's going to say, take a picture of the part with the label. So let's go ahead and do that. And so there we are. We went ahead, we entered the description, we scanned our QR code, and more importantly, we're showing our front office that there is a picture with the product and the QR code with the label. And so what this does is this expedites everything that needs to happen in the front office. And again, as soon as I click finish, the front office is ready to process. So everything happens very quickly and in real time. And there we go. All makes sense. We're going to say finish. And that's it. So that's how you would do it for Marcone. Now let's go ahead and go through the same example as if we were doing Home Depot. So let's say we're a tech, we're going to go to Home Depot and buy a part. And basically it is going to be the same process, but we're going to take a picture of a Home Depot receipt instead. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So Home Depot, we're going to say receive part. And it's going to say, hey, what's the carrier tracking? Again, our standard for if there is no carrier tracking in our demo Acme, we're going to say NA. We're going to go ahead and say next. And once again, it's going to say, hey, take a picture of the packing slip. So let's go ahead and do that. Once again, we're going to go through the PO. Again, a PO could or could not have been issued. We're going to say there was no PO issued. Once again, it's going to say add a part. Again, for our demo, we'll just say it's a belt because it's quicker to type. And then it's going to say, hey tech, scan the QR. And there's our unique QR code. And then once again, it's just going to say, hey tech, go ahead, put that label on the part, then take a picture. We're going to do that. And so there we go. We have our description, our QR code, and then we have the tracking label, the QR label on there, has the claim number, and we're just going to click finished, and we're done once again, and the front office is updated. And so that is how easy it is for you to go ahead and take care of if there is a carrier that doesn't match, where the carrier tracking does not match, and or if your technician has a local pickup or a local delivery or goes somewhere else where they do parts receiving on their own. And so that will complete today's video.